a little bit of a different scenery for my usual videos. I am in Vail, Colorado, a guest of Oris, and we are checking out some of their new releases for 2026. And I have a few watches that I could talk about today. So I'm going to go through some of those. There are lots of activities. There are a lot of really cool people here, hanging out with a lot of people that I've never met, that I've seen on Instagram and YouTube and in publication. However, finally getting to meet some of them here in Vail, Colorado. People are skiing, snowboarding, dog sledding, getting massages. I actually opted for the massage to relax a little bit. It's just 3 days and we'll be flying back to New York in just a few hours. But before we do, I wanted to talk about some of the releases I can talk about. I'm going to start with one of the coolest releases. I think one of the coolest designs that they have made. It is their newest Big Crown pointer date in 38 millimeters. This is the Bullseye. This gets a bullseye dial, and there's always been something I've really loved about the pointer date, the symmetry. I don't really love a date window, and I love the date on this because obviously you have a center pointer date. That gets a little red arrow, and it's a great size. This one is powered by their Solita-based movement, so that means it's pretty affordable, coming in just under $2,400. Really beautiful watch for the money. The next watch we're going to talk about is in their Artelier collection. It has a beautiful blood burgundy dial in celebration of the year of the fire horse. And you're getting 2 sub-registers on here with a fume pattern. It is featuring their caliber 113, so this is a full calendar, month, week, day, and date. And of course you have a power reserve because this does get 10 days of power reserve, and you get to see that hand-wound movement from the back, the sapphire crystal in the back. This is on the larger side, so around 43 millimeters. I featured one of these watches here on my channel recently, featuring the caliber 113. That was on a bracelet. This one comes on a strap. These are on the $8,000 range. I think they are very wearable, even though they are slightly on the larger side. I think they are very useful because you do have that full calendar. Overall, very unique looking. Something very unique about this watch, besides those sub-registers and the color of the dial, which I think is pretty unique as well. At the power reserve, instead of having up or down, high or low, they put a galloping horse for the high and then a resting horse for the low. When you have power reserve, you are galloping. When you don't, you are resting. Very cool and a very good looking watch. These are a limited edition and I believe already sold out. The watch that I'm wearing for this very special weekend is an Oris, of course. It is a Big Crown. It's their 5-day Big Crown. So this gets a small seconds down at the 6 o'clock position. And then of course you have their pointer date, very classic design, very classically Oris. This does not get their coin edge bezel. However, since it's a 5-day, it gets their in-house movement with a 5-day power reserve. So it's actually a pretty small watch. There are a few brands who make a 5-day power reserve, and this movement is kind of small considering that it gets 5 days of power reserve. It's really beautiful. I have one with an aqua bluish green dial, and it has a red pointer for the date. I absolutely love this watch. I think it's really underrated and very, very good looking. It's actually a really great size as well. Wears really well on my 7.5 inch wrist. And I'll throw the specs up for all the watches that I was talking about in this video. Anyway, guys, a little bit of a change of scenery for me. Obviously, the mountains behind me. I would imagine there are some people sleeping in the hotel right now that I might be waking up. That's really it. Tell me what you think of the watches that I showed you today, the 3 watches, and tell me what you think of what Oris are doing. Lots of really cool watches. They are doing sort of 2 different things at once. They are leaning into their affordable collections. So that Big Crown, the Bullseye, coming in under $2,400. It's a reissue of one of their original designs, and I think it looks great for $2,400. It has that coin edge bezel, really classic looking. I very much like that. And then, of course, they're leaning into their in-house movements, their in-house calibers. However, the prices aren't astronomical. You definitely will find watches out there with movements that are not as nice as that caliber 473 hand wound with 120 hours of power reserve. In a watch that costs around $5,000, you'll find Solita movements and things like that. I think they're leaning into what they do well, and I really like that. And I really like the designs that they're coming out with. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. I am freezing. And there's a crow that has been circling that I think wants to eat my camera. So thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.